to that, tell us a little bit. What are some of those things that you have seen in some of the Muslim cultures that is not really in line with Islam? Don't be shy. Don't be shy to say it, because that is dawah, and I think that will be educational. And I mean some things that can have a non-Muslim misunderstand Islam. What? Just a few. Just let us know. I know I learn from that. And our viewers learn from that, so they will know to better themselves and not make those kind of mistakes.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, I'll start off by saying a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that he just quoting, not directly, but he says that there'll always be three issues in the ummah: lack of knowledge, external attacks, and extremism. So in tail, it kind of goes into those things. So what are some of the things that I've seen in individuals in the ummah, or in organizations and in countries, and just throughout the ummah itself, is an aspect of those three: lack of knowledge, external attacks, maybe lies about the ummah itself, and then people going to extremes. Maybe they're doing the right thing, but just going to an extreme with it. And another big thing is maybe the implementation, and then that goes with the lack of knowledge. Maybe because of the situation of what's happened and a lot of the sciences have been lost and everything, maybe we don't have the knowledge of how to approach even non-Muslims and how to speak to them, how to do dawah, how to approach ourselves, with the adab of the Prophet ﷺ, being compassionate, being honest, being just, being humble, purifying our hearts. Sometimes you do see those, and again, we're all humans, we all make mistakes, but we sometimes we do see that we're Muslims, we're supposed to be the teachers and the ones who guide and teach and protect the Christians and the Jews and the other communities on this earth. We should be the best of example, and we should be those who protect ourselves from stubbornness, from our nafs, from our desires, from our ego, from our pride, from our arrogance, from the love of this world. We shouldn't be materialistic.
So basically you're saying, yes, the Muslims need to educate themselves so they don't misrepresent Islam with their culture.
Yes, education, but main thing, because there's also a lot of people that are very educated in our community, but education, how my teachers have taught me, knowledge is not what you know, it's what you implement. Sometimes the education leads you to arrogance. That's how shaitan will get you.
Okay, so then those Muslims who are educated need to apply what they have studied so they will not misrepresent Islam. And you know what? I must share this with you. One of the biggest thing that I see Muslims, there are many things. Let me don't say biggest thing. One of the things, one, that I see educated Muslims, and I mean educated Muslims, Arabia, Egypt, Pakistan, Muslim countries, they allow culture in marriage to come over the laws of Quran and Sunnah. For example, Muslim countries, extravagance in marriages, extravagance in mahar. It is sad to see how they, when it comes, they can be the best religious leaders and institutions and organizations and whoever they are in their countries. When it comes to marriages, it's all anti-Quran and anti-Sunnah. The only thing that exists is the name we do a nikah. But even that is not even in accordance with Quran and Sunnah in many cases. And that is so sad. That is so sad. Maybe I want to put you on a spot and ask you, maybe that's why you're not married yet, huh? Because you want to make sure you don't get a cultural Muslim girl. Listen, this is a conversation, and this might be very educational. And I have a lot of convert Muslims and reverts who tell me that. They said the problem they have when their whole iman is coming on the path straight, studying Islam, they cannot find Muslim girls or Muslim families who are who do not bring culture between Islam for some unknown reason. When they talk all the Islam in the masjid, listen, they talk all the Islam in the masjid, but when it comes to marriage, their culture kicks in immediately, And you can be talking whichever country we're talking about, generally speaking, 99.9%. And this happens from sheikhs to scholars to head people in Muslim organizations. They talk all the Islam. But you talk about marriage, their whole eyes drop, their nose drop, their mouth twist, their words go back, and everything goes with the culture of their country. That is a disaster. That turns people away. Not only does it do that, it ruins good Muslim families, because then the family does not come up in the Islamic way. And I'm sad to say, it's sad to say that, but that's the reality. And I mean, you as a person who come to the fold of Islam, we're on a talk show here, and we need to let the world know where we really misrepresent Islam. That is one of the things. I'm not talking about many other things. There are many other things. But this is such an important thing. Why I'm saying that? Because the Quran establishes marriage. Allah established marriage. Allah speaks of marriage. The Prophet speaks about one who rejects marriage is not from my sunnah, not from his ummah. You know, and a lot of people are scared to get married. Because of that, I have a lot of students all over, sheikhs, hufaz. They're scared. They can't find the right Muslim family because the culture has blinded a lot of people. And, you know, it's people like you who are reverts to Islam who need to share that also out there. Muslims need to feel a little guilty of that crime. It's a big crime. It really recently I spoke to an Egyptian brother, very prominent religious sheikh, scholar. You know what he told me? He said there are a lot of Egyptians who prefer to get married to American girls, because when it comes to getting married, the culture overrules. The culture just takes over, and they feel more comfortable in marrying a convert Muslim girl in America because she comes with no culture. I'm sharing what I was told a couple of weeks ago by not an Egyptian, but a highly scholarly person. And I'm just using one example. I'm not bashing any culture. It happens all over. In the Caribbean, could be Guyana, Trinidad, Pakistan, Bangladesh. I don't care where it is. You know what, Brother Gibson? I am now over 45 years in Dawah. And I'm not going to polish things to please people and their culture. I'm not in that business. I'm in the business of Dawah and sharing the message of the Quran and Sunnah. And I want to support you, and I want to, that's why I love the idea of you on the show. And I want you to be brave about it, inshallah. And I'm saying this because I know a lot of young Muslims converts are shy, and that's the reason they cannot find a Muslim girl who does not come with culture. And I mean, nothing is wrong with culture. Listen, you can love roti, you can love biryani, you can love kebabs, you can love chai, whatever. But don't love things over Islam that is not in accordance with Quran and Sunnah. That is very dangerous, and that is why it's a struggle in some areas. It's a struggle, and we got to do all kind of things. And it has nothing to do with Islam, Quran and Sunnah. It's about the error and the shortcomings of human beings.